Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Time for a little financially speaking. And if you're like me, when you hear the Fed has cut rates, you're like, so what does that mean? Do I buy a home now? Well, have mortgage rates actually become affordable? There's tons and tons of questions. So joining us now to sort out all of this and make us really kind of more real estate savvy is Jennifer Streak. She's the senior personal finance reporter for Business Insider. Jennifer, thank you for being here with us this morning. Seriously, what does it mean when we hear, oh, the feds have cut rates? That sounds good, is it?
It is actually very good. We've been waiting on this news for the past year, year and a half. The Fed actually made rates a lot higher because of inflation. They wanted to slow down inflation, bring down inflation, and we're starting to see positive success with that. So they went ahead and gave us a rate cut. Some people are going to see that immediately with their credit cards. I've seen that Chase and Amex have cut their rate. But in terms of real estate and buying a home, that is going to have a slower effect. Right now, rates are at 6.09%, which is the lowest they've been in over a year. So that's positive.
Uh-huh.
But we're still going to expect more positive news from the Fed over the next year.
Okay, it's a political year. It's an election year. Is there a correlation between the two? I mean, because it sounds like, oh, this is great news. And if you want the economy and everything to seem like it's doing better, you do this. But is this something that they wait for certain things to happen and it just coincides with an election year, or even because we're only, 50 days away?
Fed was going to give us a rate cut is inflation. And they
Okay.
needed to see inflation start to come down, and they started to see that.
Okay. So yeah, we were waiting on that. That was happening. So it happens
Mhm.
that way. Okay. You could see how people might think, oh, it's election year. I always say that about gas
Right.
prices too. You see that as well. Well, I mean, let me ask you that. Yeah. Does it affect things like gas prices and things and equitable things that we would have to use day to day?
We're starting to see gas prices and groceries stabilize in
Okay.
terms of pricing. The interest rates are going to affect housing, credit cards, your savings accounts, HELOCs more quickly and most
Okay.
importantly.
All right. Well, let's ask you about that. How does that Fed's action really alter the affordability of, say, home ownership?
Well, you're going to see interest rates come down, which should impact positively home ownership. But what I would say to those that are looking to refinance or even buy a home is to still have a wait and see attitude because we're going to see more rate cuts over the next year, according to predictions on how the Fed is going to be moving. So I wouldn't say to just jump right in right now.
Okay, and so just kind of like sit, wait, watch, and see. Is it also something like demand as well? Would that have an effect on that? Because everybody's like, oh, the Fed's cut the rates, so let's go buy. But then the demand for homes and stuff would be pretty much, kind of raising a little bit higher. Is that true?
Correct. I mean, the demand it has to be there. Also, you still have to look at your affordability in terms of being able to buy a home right now. We are heading into the end of the year, the holidays. Most people aren't looking to
Oh, I
buy a
see.
home or even sell a home.
Yeah.
So, like you said, is there going to be the demand there?
All right. Well, given that the Fed rate cuts don't always lead to like really immediate drops in mortgage rates, what should home buyers and homeowners actually know about that timing of all these changes?
It's really hard to time interest rates with when you should buy, but you have to still look at whether or not you can afford the home. Do you have enough savings? If you want to refinance, can you afford the refinance cost? Because it's not free to
Right.
refinance your home. So all of these costs have to be considered as well.
Do you think that there's people that are still renting? I know, like we're in the area that we're at,
Mhm.
renting is crazy. Everybody is. Will this affect anything like that? Is this really mainly just for homeowners?
You're going to see the greatest impact with home ownership. Of course, I'm a renter myself. I would love to see it have some sort of impact on renting, but I'm not sure that
Yeah.
that area will be affected as much as buying a home.
I would think so. And, I wanted to bring that up because, obviously people are thinking, do I rent or buy? Now they have more
Mhm.
options as well. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us so much. And if you want to find out how you can capitalize on rate cuts and even buy a home, check out Jennifer on businessinsider.com.